morning, everyone. This is Team Bajaj. I'm called Musimeta Maria, and welcoming you all to Boda on Board, digitalization of the Safe Boda rider onboarding process. Why Bajaj? Bajaj is a popular type of motorcycle that is popular among the youth, elders, young, and we as Team Bajaj hope that our solution is as popular as Bajaj. Welcome to our development team. Orisha Femias worked on the front, she's a front-end coder. Musimeta Maria, myself, a front-end coder. Anja Naranga, a back-end coder. And Liz Kamugisha, a back-end coder. I now welcome my colleague Anja Naranga to take you through the slides. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Given the current need for safe border riders, we identified that they have a problem collecting data between the field and academy staff. Currently, they're using Google Sheets, a bit bureaucratic, plus they lack the proper authentication, so they cannot even also track the onboarding process. With Boda on Board, we believe that it will provide a solution that will enable real-time application that will be a real-time so that they can be able to receive the data back in the office. It will be an automation of the process. There will be a login feature which the different users can use depending on their rights, plus a dashboard which gives data visualization and the reports. Well, after a user has been created, they'll be able to log in and it will take them to their dashboard. And in their dashboard, if it is a staff, for example, they'll be able to see a registration form, a riders list, and the download reports. When they click registration form, it will take them to a multi-step registration form, which they will have to fill in with all the details that are required. When they click riders list, it will take them to the riders list for all the riders that have been registered. This will enable them view the profile. In case they need to edit anything, they can edit it. They can also change the status of the rider from registration to training or to active. And then that means you'll be given the right to delete in case there's need to delete anything. On that means dashboard, they can also see a download reports profile, which enables them to run reports depending on their needs. We have tried to make the user interface responsive so it can be used both on a phone and on a computer. It is user-friendly, it is not complicated. We have tried to use Safe Boda branding basing on what is on their website and what we see with the actual riders. It is clean and a simple layout. My colleague Liz will take you through the demonstration of the actual application. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. I hope you're all able to see the screen change to our application.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, great. So this is our landing page, and you're able to access our application in using these two buttons. So this first button, register a rider, is a recommendation that we have to Safe Boda, which will actually allow riders themselves or maybe recruitment agents who are maybe working part-time and are not full employees of Safe Boda to register a rider. It will give them access only to the registration form. However, an admin at Safe Boda will be able to create the users and give them usernames to the application. We also have here a section where you can select your role, maybe if you're staff and you're admin, and this will authorize you to view different parts of the application. So once you log in, you'll be taken here to our dashboard. This is where we try to give a visual representation of the data that is within the system. So here you'll be able to see the total riders in the system and we've decided to group them here in the different stages of the onboarding process. So we have a pie chart that in a very simple way, you're able to see at a glance the number of people that, for instance, are registered, the number that are in training, and those that are ready for activation. So this dashboard will be able to allow both field team and academy team to register a rider. And as we register a rider, this button will take you to our rider registration form. So we decided to create the registration form as a multi-step, and this multi-step form basically breaks down the process so that someone is not too overwhelmed with information, and it just takes you step by step so that you're able to give some time to like answer all the questions that are required. So I can just put in some dummy data. So in our registration form, we also allow you to upload your photo using this. So once you click browse, it will open up to your device. Maybe if someone has taken a photo of the rider or some other identification, it can be uploaded. And again, if they're missing information, it will guide them to fill in any information that maybe that they're missing. And once you click submit, this information will be stored into a central database. And once the information is within the database, it will then be reflected in our riders list. So above here, you can also go to the riders list, and the information entered will be reflected in the table below. So this table below can be sorted using these 3 buttons at the top so that you're able to view the riders who are registered or in training or ready for activation, and they'll be reflected here. In case you would like to see more information on a particular rider, you can always go to View Profile. In View Profile, it will reflect all the information that has been collected. If the information here is missing some information or maybe is not accurate, Safe Boda staff can click Edit Details, which will take them back to the registration form, but the registration form will have captured the data in the database for this particular rider, making it easy to edit. And if all the information is correct and is ready, the rider is ready to change their status, you can come here and maybe change the status, and this will also be reflected in the riders list. We also have a delete rider button here, and this will only be available for people like the admin to delete a rider in case they're no longer part of the Safe Boda team. So moving back here to the dashboard, we have some features here which you're able to sort through the data by date, by week, or even by system user, as well as to download reports based on this data that you are able to search from. And I would like to hand over to my teammate Famias, who will give some closing remarks on our presentation.
Thank you, Liz. Mic check.
Yes, we can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Thank you, Liz, for that presentation. Some of the benefits of our application is going to be real-time application and academy team, whereby you don't need any automation of the onboarding process to make it easier for the people who work at Safe Boda. And then we have the login feature, which gives different rights to different people at different levels. This helps to differentiate between levels, and that is what we are trying to solve with our application. Then we also have reports that can be downloaded from different levels of weeks, days, or months. You can sort the data according to what suits you best. Then our future recommendations, like my colleague has mentioned, we would like to improve our versions in the time to come by giving riders in the field access so they can register themselves and enter the details. Then the team at Safe Boda can then put the work in the system, the information in the system. Then we also recommend that Safe Boda gives a reward incentive to old riders. Let's say a Safe Boda rider brings another rider, so they give them incentives in form of points that can be collected in any form at Safe Boda. This will encourage Safe Boda members to call upon other riders to join the team. And for this work, we use some technologies that I would like to share with you. We use technologies like HTML to build the website. We used CSS to design, use JavaScript names. We used Express, Node.js, MongoDB for the database, and MongoDB Campus helped us to visualize it. Then we used Postman to test our API requests, and we used GitHub as a form of collaboration, and we always shared our information through GitHub repos, and we had calls every time when it was necessary. We have been working together for a whole week, so it has been a great experience for Team Bajaj. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. We are open to any questions that are available.
Thank you, Team Bajaj. Good work with the presentation. I'll hand over the baton to the judges. Any questions? I'll start with, yeah, go ahead, judges.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. For me, I think I just wanted to highlight some of the really good work Team Bajaj has done, and not much of the questions. But yeah, very good introduction with the team members and their pictures. Very good transitions between the team members. I feel like I know who did what and who comprises of your team. A very neat and organized front presentation, and I also like the good use of icons instead of words, or even words attached to icons in your presentation, and the process flow. That was a good touch. And also there was a point where you are selling your app in terms of how it's good to use. So it's a good way when you're pitching to sell to us what you did, which is very good. And then also I see in your demo you had informative pop-up messages like this application does. This functionality is yet to be worked on. That's a very good detail to add. And then also the multi-step was very appreciated. The field validation, the dashboard, and then also highlighting your future work and the technologies that you use was very, very good. So I applaud you.
Thank you so much, Doreen. Shafiq?
Yeah, hi guys. So for me, really, I was impressed with the multi stages of the registration process. I think it's very intuitive for the guys registering and for the driver as well if he's doing it themselves. And then the other thing that was impressive, like the age I saw there was the referral part that you put. So far it's the first, and initially that was also one of the concepts behind all this. The other thing though that I wanted to ask was around the when you were signing in, you only showed the part of registering as a staff member. You didn't show the part where you can register as either an agency or the driver himself. I don't know if it's because you hadn't yet created that part. But then my other question was around the analytics part, the visual analysis. Is that for everyone to see, or it's only for the admin of the page to see the analysis of how many drivers have been registered, that kind of thing?
This is Angela. I'll answer the questions. First, it was about the roles. Well, we did not have enough time, so there's a feature that is missing. Among the users, we are supposed to add the field agents who are supposed to be able to also log in. For the riders, the function that we showed you for register rider, we want to put in an authentication and also enable the safe borders, like the riders themselves, to register themselves. Then when you come to the dashboard, given the fact that we were not able to complete, we plan to have different dashboards for every user. So the demonstration that we showed you was for an admin, what the admin will see, because we believe the admin will be able to run the reports depending on their needs. Plus, we hope to have, like, after the presentation or after the challenge, we hope to sit down with their system users and understand their needs well, so that we can incorporate them into the system to do what they need.
Thank you.
That's all.
Thank you, Angela. Swati, do you have any questions, any comments?
Yeah, hi guys. Most of the questions which I had, Shafiq has asked them already, so those are answered. And I would like to say that I really like the user interface that Team Bajaj has put up. The user and the roles around the academy staff, which segregated them into just regular staff and admin roles, which is important. So that was good covered. And obviously the user interface had a multi-staged, neat look, which makes traversing around, routing through the site easier. So that is good. Reports in form of dashboards, very handy. The team has already answered the question that they are still working on certain user accesses such as and self-registration, which should be a good addition to this entire presentation, entire website that they have come up with. This is a generic question which I'm asking now, which stands valid for all the teams. How did you organize within the 1 week timeline that you have? How did you organize yourselves to collaborate? I understand you used GitHub, but for brainstorming, and what are the other initiatives you took to meet the deadlines? And were you able to have a trouble brainstorming session with Safe Boda in this period, or I understand you're going to have in the next few weeks?
Mic check. This is
Yes, so
Femias.
thank you for the questions.
Okay.
My name is
Liz, you can go ahead.
Go ahead, Femias. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is Liz. I was team leader for Team Bajaj. So on your question for how did we collaborate? So it was our first time working remotely. So we tried to use as many communication channels as possible. Besides sharing our code on GitHub, we also used Slack to be able to share updates and on work and progress. And we also used WhatsApp. It has a very useful feature of sending voice notes, which was a good way to share quick information as well. We also had daily meetings on Zoom where we would catch up, and in case someone had any issue, we would all kind of try to jump on a call and work through it. In terms of whether we had any time to contact Safe Boda, so we did have a question and answer session during the week, where they kind of advised us on what they were looking for in their system. And that's part of the reason why we actually tried to include this register a rider button, because we understood that the registration sometimes happens not only by Safe Boda staff, but maybe other marketing agencies or even Boda riders themselves take the initiative. So we did try to incorporate some of their insights. I hope I've answered your questions.
Maybe to add on what you said, we always had Zoom calls.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Swati. And then also a brief comment from Julie. She said, very good presentation, team Bajaj.